This is Eric Muathe with Muathe.com, mid-April 2021. Let's take a look at some current breakouts. We'll take a look at 3 breakouts that are currently shaping up and the issue I have with the breakout candidates based on past price behavior. So let's begin with the first one here. BCRX is the ticker symbol, and we can see it is doing its best to push above the prior monthly closing high from February. So let's say if it can sustain a breakout above that level, on the surface this looks like it should be a good candidate, and frankly I don't know whether it's gonna see higher prices or not. But that's not the point for this video. The point here is that even though it meets all the minimum requirements, we can see that the RSI is back above 69.1, which is good. And we can see that both MACDs are trading at 3-year highs. So from a minimum requirement standpoint, this stock has the opportunity to move higher. It meets the minimum requirements, and I would say it's a good candidate based on the chart as of right now. So that's the current setup. Now here's the issue with the instrument. You can see here on this 3-year monthly chart, it tends to have these big drops, which is an issue in my opinion. Even this was a big reversal here, and that's the issue I have with it. It's not the most stable instrument. In fact, if we take a look at a longer monthly chart, all data, you can see how it is all over the place. Yes, it's had periods of sustained monthly price action, nice monthly price action, but for the most part it's not the most visually appealing instrument. We tend to see big drops everywhere. You'll see big drops, and this is the issue. So what this tells me is that even though it has an opportunity here to go higher, the issue with this instrument is it has a history of price instability. So from my vantage point, I would rather go with other candidates, even though yes, the chart looks good. Let's take a look at another example, XENE. Now this one is not the worst looking, but it also has a history of instability. Like, it just doesn't seem to hold on to gains and tends to have big drops. So we can see that it could have an opportunity here. It's breaking out in price, as we can see, above the prior monthly closing high, and now above it, which is exactly what you want to see for a breakout candidate. So as far as price is concerned, this looks good. It could have an opportunity to see higher prices. You'd like to see the RSI jump above 69.1. If the RSI can jump above 69.1, there's an opportunity here for this instrument to move higher. In fact, I would say it's a good looking chart. If we take a look at the MACDs are trading at 3-year highs. So we can see yet again another good example of an instrument that meets the ultimate Muathe breakout. Now in terms of the quality of this chart, I just have an issue. So I could issue this as a breakout alert for paid subscribers, but I wouldn't give it the highest rating just because of prior price instability. This period here of instability, drops, massive drops. So that's the only issue. So I would give it a little bit of a lower rating in terms of breakout quality. Let's take a look at one more that's been hitting my radar, and is this DVAX. So we can see it's already above the prior monthly closing high from 2020. And so from a breakout standpoint, it is breaking out. And if you take a look at the minimum requirements, this instrument is also trading with its RSI at 3-year highs. It is trading with its MACDs at 3-year highs. We can even go backwards just to ensure that, yes, it's at 3-year high. So meets the minimum requirements again for the ultimate Muathe breakout. Hence, it's been on my watch list. But the issue I have with this instrument is past price behavior. So if you take a look at all data monthly, now you can see that it is not the most stable instrument. So you can just pause the video and tell me whether this looks appealing to you. Since 2003, this instrument has essentially been all over the place. And to be honest, this is not what you want for an instrument that you believe can have a nice run. This is very unstable price behavior. In fact, it continues to behave the same throughout all these years. So what I'm saying here is there's absolutely nothing that's going to make it change its behavior. It's going to take just some type of change in the past behavior going back almost 18 years for this instrument to really move to the upside. So yes, it meets the minimum requirements, but I would not be recommending this for paid clients. And I want you to take a look at other instruments that have recently done well so we can appreciate price stability. So here's an IPO, and of course I'm cherry picking, but if you take a look at this period here, stable price action, a nice base, stable base, pulls back, breaks out. So we can see that before the most recent breakout on this weekly chart for this instrument, PLBY, we can see that there was decent price action. And so the breakout, if we take a look at the breakout as of mid-March, just to make sure that it meets the minimum requirements. Remember, for an IPO, we go for the most mature time frame. In this case, it was the weekly chart. And so if we take a look at this period here, we can see that the RSI was above 69.1. We can see that the MACDs also were trading at pretty much, for an IPO, all-time highs. And there you have it. So obviously met the minimum requirements for the ultimate Muathe breakout. The key here is the stability of the price prior to the breakout. Let's take a look at another instrument. And here we can see one of the best performing stocks for 2021 so far. And just want to highlight this period here on a monthly chart where it was sideways for multiple years. Tight sideways base. It moves higher here, settles down, breaks out. Now this one we were lucky to capture the breakout as of late 2020 and has been one of our best performing stocks in 2021. Of course, it's one of the best performing stocks for the entire US market. We can see here it definitely met the minimum requirements. And I'll just highlight the area here. This breakout in January met the minimum requirements. RSI good, above 69.1. MACD is breaking out. Let's take a look at the last one here. It is MSTR, and I just want to highlight this sideways to stable price, multi-year price action here. So you can see very stable action before this most recent explosive run as of late 2020. So the point here is price stability should be in consideration, because an instrument that is unstable over periods of many years will tend to do the same thing even when you own it. And so it is. Eric Muathe, Muathe.com. Love light, light love. Namaste.